Hello guys and welcome back to the channel here, and sorry for not uploading on Saturday. Sorry for not uploading most of last week and yesterday whenever you watch this video. Reason why was because I got lazy. I've been slacking my uploads, and every time I try to not slack, I just continue to postpone my uploads, which is, not very cool. But I'm gonna. Okay, I can't make no promises, but I'm gonna try to stop doing that. But hopefully you enjoyed the second part of what if Ishiki had Naruto's Karma Seal, and if you have any comments of what if you may want me to do, depending on any any anime. Though I might have to watch that anime. I haven't. There's lots of animes I haven't watched. I could do some Dragon Ball what ifs, and definitely Naruto what ifs, and I would have to watch some My Hero Academia for the Deku what if. So, but like I said, comment down below, and I will probably save them for later when I watch the anime, so I can have more of a grasp on the anime. So let's get into this recap, and then let's get into the second part. So, to recap what happened in the last part, basically, Naruto. Well, first let's start off with Ishiki. Now, Ishiki, he woke up in Jigen's body 26, 27 years earlier than in original canon. If my math is correct. Yeah, maybe like 20. Yeah, like 27 years early. No, 26. Woke up 26 years earlier. I probably said in the last part where he woke up 21 years, which is not correct. He did not wake up when Naruto was 13. He woke up when Naruto was 7. I just wanted to correct that. So, yeah. Now, Naruto, we switch over to, well, actually, I want to continue this. I know it's getting a little bit confusing, but the reason why Ishiki is now trying to inhabit Naruto's body is because Naruto is more useful. He has more of. He has a bigger lifespan than Jigen does. Jigen is just your regular human. I think he was a monk, but Naruto, he's a Uzumaki with a long lifespan. And he wants someone like Naruto, someone with a huge lifespan that he can take over. Now, we go to Naruto. Well, we go to, I don't even know what I'm talking about. We go to Naruto. We see him running away from a bunch of villagers into an alley with dead end. And then they jump him. But before they could kill him, Ishiki comes in, kills them all, easy, and then gives his Karma Seal to Naruto, which then turns Jigen's body into ash, since Ishiki destroyed his conscience beforehand. So, yeah, his body got turned into ash. I don't want to explain how. It just did. Okay? So, now, Naruto, he decides that he wants to destroy his village. Mostly, the reason why this is happening is mostly because of the influence from Ishiki and Kurama, which Ishiki's now controlling Kurama. Not like mind controlling him, but he's just controlling him because of his brute strength. His strength is way stronger than Hagoromo, and Kurama could feel that this guy is way stronger than Hagoromo. He doesn't want to mess with a guy who's even stronger than who he thought was the strongest. So he's just letting Ishiki do whatever he wants right now. So this is really because of his anger towards the people in the village, anger towards the people who didn't do nothing to help, the people who hurt him on purpose, and the influence from Ishiki and Kurama. So he wants to destroy the village and take over the world, and go to other universes, other galaxies, and take them over too, and drain them for all their power so he can get even stronger. And he runs away to Whirlpool Village. He just feels like going there, so he just runs away to there. And on his way there, inside the mindscape, Ishiki meets Naruto's parents, Kushina and Minato. Now, Minato and Kushina don't want him to take over Naruto's body, obviously. But Ishiki tells him that he's willingly giving Naruto his power, and Naruto is willingly accepting it. And they talk about how they're going to take they talk about how they're going to take over the world and destroy the Leaf Village. And obviously, Minato and Kushina do not like this. But Ishiki explains and Kurama explains how nobody helped Naruto and they all just abused him, used him, and tricked him and lied to him. And this convinces Minato and Kushina to not do anything and want to meet Naruto later. And Naruto gets onto the Whirlpool Village while they were talking in the Mindscape, and he finds a basement under the Uzukage Tower. So that's basically what happened last part. I know this was pretty long. Sorry about that. But hopefully you enjoy this part. So let's get into this. What if? Now, Naruto is going into the basement, and when he's going into the basement, Kurama is, using his sensing ability to sense for any possible traps that Naruto didn't disable and, might not be able to sense. And he doesn't sense, well, he senses some traps, but because Naruto's Uzumaki, they don't activate. So they leave Naruto alone, and Kurama's just like, I guess they didn't expect any Uzumakis to be traitorous to them, I guess. And, well, from what we know from the Uzumaki, they aren't at all traitorous. They're, they care about family, and they would never betray you, no matter what. That's from what we know. Is, maybe they will. They were ninjas, Ninjas are liars, but I don't know. But, yeah, like I said, I don't know. They might betray their clan, they might not, but there were no examples, no, proof that people would betray and would not betray or something, But Naruto finds a bunch of scrolls on sailing jutsu and on how to use chains. Now, the Uzumaki don't have a dojutsu. They don't have a dojutsu, okay? Straight up like that. They just have chains and that's it. Now, the scroll on chains is, it's pretty limited because there was only 3 people who had it. There was Kushina, Mito, and Mito's father, who was the Uzukage during Madara and Hashirama's, when they were super young. Like when Hashirama and Madara, they, they were fighting over Mito's love. When Mito's father, I forgot what his name was. I think his name was Ashura or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know it started with like an A or an M. But only those 3 people, from my knowledge, had the chains. I mean, they were because Kadin, I don't think she had any chains. But, like I said, it's very limited, but there's images on the chains, and Kurama, he sees the images along with Ishiki, and Ishiki is like, what is that? And Kurama's like, that accursed Kekkei Genkai that got me sealed inside this boy in the first place. And Ishiki's like, oh, what's a Kekkei Genkai? And Kurama looks at him like, I just explained this to you. Ishiki's like, don't raise your voice at me, boy. I was joking. I think this kid's personality is rubbing off from you a bit. And Kurama's like, oh, yeah, that was kind of strange. You don't act like that from what I know. And we have only been with each other for a couple of days. And Ishiki's like, yeah, but chains, huh? You explained them. I don't think you explained them before. But if they were able to steal someone who, well, you're not that strong compared to me, but you do seem that, it seems that you are pretty strong compared to the other humans, so for such a weak, puny human to be able to steal such a beast of your capabilities and power, means that must be a very strong dojutsu. No, not dojutsu, Kekkei Genkai. And Kurama's like, it depends on how much chakra the wielder has and how their mastery, and it depends on how much experience they have with the chains. And The strongest, from my knowledge, is the black chains. And Ishiki's like, oh, I think this boy has those chains actually. He also has gold chains as well. And Grandma's like, I never seen her use gold chains. I didn't see her use gold chains when she was trying to keep me down. And well, you think you would probably use your strongest form of your strongest attack or defensive maneuver when you're, trying to protect people. So maybe she just wasn't strong enough to achieve gold. But it's not, it's not too weird that he has gold. He has me still inside of him, and you. Your genes connecting with his genes probably accidentally gave him the strongest form. And she's just like, well, this boy, it seems like he's already reading the scroll. Since it has limited information, it shouldn't take him too long. And Naruto in the outside world, he's reading the scroll and learning how to use his chains, learning where they come out from, and he got pretty good mastery over it. He's using the second weakest form right at this moment, but he's only been using the chains for a couple minutes now, so, that's not too bad for a guy who literally, just started, who just realized he had it. He's Kekken Genkai. It's not too bad. But we're gonna just time skip a couple hours. Well, not a couple hours, like half an hour. And he gets to gold chains. Now, he wants to master it completely because the only way he was able to get, not a half an hour, like a couple more minutes, he gets to gold chains, the strongest form, or whatever the strongest form is. I'm gonna just say it's gold chains, because, but actually black chains would probably be the strongest. So it's either, I don't know what the strongest is. I'm just gonna say it's gold because I already said that. So anyways, he gets gold chains, and the only reason why he was able to get gold chains was because he was using chakra. He doesn't have mastery over it at all. He barely knows, he doesn't know how to maneuver with it or anything. He just knows how to get it all the way up to its strongest potential. So it's going to take him a little bit more time to master it. I'm not going to make him he's going to be a prodigy, but come on. He just realized he got this Kekken Genkai. He's not going to master it that quickly. But he goes on and says, that's good enough. At least I know how much chakra I need to get to the strongest form of my Kekken Genkai. And he just goes over and reads the rest of the scrolls, the ceiling scrolls. There's a bunch from level 1 to level 12. And he's mastering these very quickly. He's already mastered level 1, and there was 20 scrolls on level 1. He mastered them all already. And we skip a couple of days. We see Kurama and Ishiki inside the seal, just oh, this is so boring. He's just reading those seals all over again. Just so boring. I wish I would see some action. And Kurama's like, yeah, this life has never been this really this boring. I was sitting here expecting him to fight, have an exciting life, not read. So boring. And she's like, yeah, it is, but the boy is getting stronger. That means more strength for me when I inevitably take over his body if he, has a weak will. But from what I'm sensing, his will is pretty strong. He probably won't give up his body quickly. Kurama's like, And Kurama's like, you sound like some weird ninja. And we see Orochimaru just sneeze. And back to, Naruto reading the scroll. He's on level 12 right now. He's about to finish mastering it. But he hears some growling outside. And he ignores it, but it just gets louder and more annoying. And he just leaves the scroll on the ground. Well, he brings it with him because he's about to finish mastering it. So he's just going to go outside, handle it with some Kurama's chakra, and then go back and finish reading. And what he sees is 10 saber-toothed tigers. He's just scared and fear. And Kurama's like, I thought those guys were extinct by now. And Ishiki's like, what are those? And Kurama just goes, saber-toothed tigers. You may not have heard of them because, you're not from here, but they were supposed to be extinct millions of years ago. I do not know why they're still on this planet. Sorry, my annoying little brother, man. I swear, sometimes I just wish you would just leave me alone. But he's always bothering me. But, anyways, Ishiki's like, huh, so they were supposed to be extinct? Well, isn't there a thing called mating? They probably just reproduced. And Kurama's like, I guess, but like they were supposed to all die. I don't remember how they died, but Hagoromo told me that they died. Like he taught me and my siblings about how all the ancient animals die and stuff. He taught us about most of the ancient animals during his last years on Earth. He told us a lot of things, and I learned a lot of things in my other host, I guess you could say. And he's like, well, I don't think this boy has the strength to defeat them yet. Maybe the chains, but he doesn't have mastery over them. He was just practicing with the seals during his time. He wasn't even training with his chains, which is a bit more important. And Crown was like, oh, trust me, those seals are very, very annoying, but very important as well to Uzumaki. An Uzumaki without seals is like an Otsutsuki without his dojutsu. And Ishiki's like, what? And Karma's like, another way to say it is, Uzumaki without seals is basically like a clan without their main, reason why they're strong. Like, you without your dojutsu, like I said, or like the Uchiha without their dojutsu, without their main techniques, they're, pretty weak and basic. They won't be like, it would be like pretty much every other clan, boring, with no special things to them, except for the fact that they have a lot of chakra. And Ishiki's like, okay. But Kurama's like, I think he'll be fine with a bit of my chakra. Maybe he'll let me take over his body. I could defeat them for him. And Ishiki's like, he's too stubborn for that. He probably won't let you. And Kurama's like, yep, probably. Now we see Naruto just using his chains on the tigers. He uses his chains on 2 of them, and then he yeets the rest. He uses them at a couple of the tigers, but they keep coming, and they keep coming. So he just uses the sharp edges of his he uses the sharp edges of his chains, and he stabs through most of them, but there were still like 3 left. And he's like, this is getting really annoying. And then he's just like, maybe I could use a seal. And he seals away, and he uses this 10th level seal that seals away their organs, all their organs. So he seals away their organs into like this, like, he seals them underground, like in the ground. When he gets to level 12, there's gonna be a secret, but it's gonna be cool, okay? But he seals their organs into the ground, and they all die. The rest die. And Ishiki's like, that is very useful. I guess those seals are pretty annoying and pretty good to have. If all he has to do is do a few hand signs, which will be annoying, but if all he has to do is do a few hand signs, then all their organs will just disappear. That will be pretty nice to have. And Naruto just goes away. He just goes back to under the tower, and he's like, well, that experience was pretty nice. It was nice to use my chains and my seals, well, at least one of the seals I see, on those tigers. No, maybe if I could just find a lot more and practice my seals on them. And Naruto, he just finished up the level 12 scroll, and what he sees on it is amazing. And he goes outside, screaming around, looking for more saber-toothed tigers. and he finds a couple. He finds three, and because three is a lucky number, but he finds three, and they come rushing towards him. And he uses the strongest healing jutsu, one of the strongest healing jutsus. He learned what he saw in that level 12 scroll was amazing. He saw about 4 to 5 strong godly healing jutsus, and I'm going to tell you one of them. Now, one of them is kind of like Kamui, where it absorbs the opponent into like this vortex, but it sends them out. It sends them outside into space, and it kills them instantly because they die from oxygen. They die from lack of air. Now, the Uzumaki usually fight against people who need oxygen, so it's pretty overpowered for humans and people who need oxygen, but not for people who don't really need it. But it's still pretty good to have for a guy who does, for people who need oxygen. It sucked them into a void that killed them instantly because of the lack of oxygen, like I said. And while they were in the void, their brains, I know this is not realistic. I don't think their brains inflate and pop because, how are their brains going to inflate when there's no oxygen? But their brains inflate and pop because while they were getting sealed into the vortex, like into outer space, it was this immense amount of pressure building up inside the body, and they popped, as well as suffocating. They were expanding slowly, so they died from a slow. They died a slow and painful death. Even if someone Kamuis or teleports away, you'll still have this feeling of suffocating, and you're still slowly expanding, and you're still gonna die. You're still gonna pop, because there's actually when Naruto does this seal, there's this vortex of expanding non-breathable air inside of your body. It's still continuously expanding while you're suffocating at the same time. So it's really painful. And Naruto's like, nice. 1 out of 5 done. That was very nice. It took them out instantly. Though I wonder what they look like now. Guess we'll never know. And, well, it wasn't explained what it did in the seal, because, how would the Uzumaki know what it did? But all Naruto knows is that it made them go away, which was pretty nice to him. Now, he does not plan on using it on himself, because he does not know what's going to happen. He might die. And Ishiki, he's actually seen an Otsutsuki use this when he was invading a planet with one. Now, that Otsutsuki has no name. They died because when they were invading the planet, they died. And Ishiki didn't find a body yet to help them, put their Kama shield on them. He didn't find a body for them, so they died. And, well, yeah, their soul is somewhere in the afterlife, hell, maybe, I don't know. But Ishiki is getting flashbacks, and he's like, if that's not even the strongest attack he has, oh boy. I've been waiting to use that attack, but I've never got to use it. But this will finally be my chance to. Kurama's like, jeez, what a deadly attack. We won't even know what happened to them. For all we know, they're somewhere in space where a void is slowly suffocating, or maybe they're already dead right now. And Ishiki's like, well, I already know what that attack is. I already know how it works. It sends your opponents into outer space. I've seen it work before. When I was just randomly traveling in space, I've seen some random humans just get launched out and slowly suffocate while expanding. I saw them. They died such a painful but hilarious death. It was very entertaining. And it was done by one of my friends. And my bad, guys, for the signs, but Kurama was like, you Otsutsuki are very brutal. You full Otsutsuki is just brutal. Like, why? Why would you do that? They couldn't attack you at all. And Ishiki's like, well, They attacked my friend for no reason whatsoever. Though we were trying to invade their planet, they attacked him for no reason, which he didn't find nice, so he did that attack to them. To make them die a slow and painful death, to make them learn. To make sure that, well, wherever they're going, they won't make such a mistake again. And Grandma's like I said, you full Susis are just demons. Now Naruto's like, alright, let's get to training. And time skip of Naruto being 7 to him being 12. And, well, yeah. This is going to be around... My bad. This is going to be around the time where Team 7 would go to the land of waves mission. This is going to be around that time. Now, Naruto, 12-year-old Naruto, and some swagger. He's been outside the planet a couple of times using the Karma Seal, and he's seen the Isshiki. He's talked to them, and he's talked to them before, and he's actually the new leader of the Isshiki right now, because during the last 2 years of his training, he already mastered. During the last 3 years of his training, not 2. He already mastered the chains to their fullest extent. He already mastered all his sealing jutsus to their fullest extent. So he's just going outside the planet to test them on stronger beings. And he found some rogue Otsutsuki, and he just obliterated them. Now there's this other technique he has where it drains that person's chakra. It could drain an entire planet's chakra. It's kind of like that reverse chakra seal Kage had. I don't think she ever used it, but it's kind of like that, where it just drains all your chakra and all your energy until you die. Now it's the weakest of them, but it's still very powerful, even though it's the weakest of the 5. And it just drains your chakra until you die. You cannot reverse this with eating chakra food. You cannot. It drains your chakra. And if you keep on adding more chakra, people are trying to add more and more and more, it drains it faster and faster and faster. And it makes your death more and more painful. So I suggest, if you get this jutsu done on you, just don't resist, so your death won't be as painful. You know what I'm saying? Because just don't resist. I don't know why you would try to resist. You can't do nothing against it. So why are you trying to resist for? It's just gonna make you die faster. So, but none of his enemies ever survive to tell people, and any witnesses, he kills them. He does not want people to know any possible weaknesses. Now he studied these sealing jutsus inside and out, to the point where he only has to do one seal, and he has to just say the word. Now he's training to where he doesn't even have to do a seal, he just says the word. But he only has to do one seal and say the word of the jutsu he wants to do. Now he has a bunch of special seals. He has a raven seal, a blue jay seal, a stingray. He has a bunch of seals. That's kind of weird, but he has a bunch, and he memorized them all because he made this seal, and he sealed it onto his brain, where it gives him unlimited space in his brain, so he remembers literally everything, which is kind of bad at the same time, like remembering everything, everything. So he knows it has some drawbacks, and he's trying to find ways to fix the drawbacks, but for the moment he really doesn't mind remembering every moment, because most of his moments are him torturing people. He likes torturing, he loves torturing, and him learning seals, so he doesn't mind. But I'm actually not going to end it off here. I was about to do a fake out. I'm sorry. But Naruto, he goes back to the planet, and he finally goes to the land of waves. Now at this time, Team 7 was fighting wasn't Kabuza, and they weren't fighting him. this was just a couple of days after that fight with Zabuza, where Kakashi got chakra exhaustion. So it's still they're still going to be healing for a bit. But Naruto goes to the land of waves, and he sealed away like his presence. I know this is kind of weird, but he sealed away his presence and added on a bit of a weaker one. And Ishiki at this point has kind of given up on controlling Naruto. Naruto's will is so strong that even when Naruto uses the full power of the Karma Seal, which for a normal person would just let the person, for a normal person, would let the guy who put the Karma Seal on them, it would make them get controlled, their body to get taken over. For example, Momoshiki, like let's say Baruto uses the full power of the Karma Seal, Momoshiki would automatically take over his body immediately. Gone. His consciousness is still going to be in his body, but he cannot take control back. But Naruto's willpower was so strong that it wouldn't work. And plus, he had Kushina's willpower and Minato's, so it just wouldn't do nothing. He wouldn't budge at all. So he could have used the full power without care. And Ishiki is like, he's getting annoyed, but he doesn't really mind. He doesn't mind. He's pretty good friends with Kurama, but Kurama still knows his place. And, Naruto was very unhappy when he realized that what Ishii was trying to do. But he got over it when he realized that, it's not working. And he's getting stronger and stronger. So he doesn't care anymore. But as long as he doesn't let his willpower slip, Ishiki won't take control. So, yeah. As long as his will doesn't break. Well, even if his will does break, he still has Kushina's willpower and Minato, so it's still, nothing will happen. But Ishiki will slowly take over his body if his will does break. So, I don't know, I said nothing will happen. But, I keep saying that a lot. Now we just go over and we see, Naruto walking in front of the house where Team 7 and them is out. And he feels that this is the strongest chakra signal here. He's like, why is it here? They're weak, but their signatures are stronger than most. Are they ninja or something? And he goes and he sees Sai. He like I said, he's learned a bunch of seals. So he also has this invisibility seal, which is level 11, because not even a Uzumaki sensor could sense him. Even with such a big presence as someone who's basically Otsutsuki, not even a Uzumaki sensor could sense him. That's why it got to be level 11. Now it's not the 5 grades of level 12, but it's still pretty strong because of the fact that it's just Gakuen. And we all know Danzo would probably like something like this, but he won't get it. He probably died before he get it. But Naruto is like, Sasuke? Who's that guy with that gravity-defying hair? Wait. Is he one eye? I think he's Khan. I don't really remember his name. Now, Naruto has yet to meet his parents. He's going to meet them a bit sooner, a bit later in the story, so don't worry about that. He has yet to meet them, so he doesn't know who Kakashi is. But he definitely knows who Sasuke is. Sasuke and him, they were friends, so that's something he won't really forget. His first friend. And he's like, Sakura. He can remember Sakura from My Way. He used to have a crush on her. But now he just wants to kind of kill her because he really does not like Sakura for the way she treated him. Even though he wasn't in the village for long and she didn't treat him bad for long, he still did not appreciate it. And he's now realizing that his crush on Sakura was pretty idiotic and stupid, that she did not at all like him. And if she ever did, it would probably just be a genjutsu or something. And Kurama's like, Sakura, that blonde, that pink-haired girl you used to like, fawn over and scream over, would have restless nights over. You were such a simp back in the day, Naruto. And Naruto's like, I sure was. Sure was such an embarrassment. That must have been very saddening for me to be your jailer, and I was such an embarrassment. And Kurama was like, of course it was. Ishiki, you're lucky that he wasn't your jailer at the time, because it was an embarrassment. I mean, literally saddening. And Ishiki's like, geez, really? Oh well, it doesn't matter now. He's what the people here would call a demon now. And Kurama's like, yeah, and not the evil type, like the cool, awesome type of demon. Like, I don't know how to explain, but I guess he's like really cool or something. And I was just like, will you shut up too? Will you two shut up? I don't want to lose my. Well, never mind. He's like, will you two just shut up? You're getting on my nerve right now. And he sees this guy who's obviously faking his expression on his face, and not just like, I can tell he's probably on par with their sensei. And if he's on par with their sensei, that means he's faking his strength, faking his appearance. He's just all around a faker, lying. Why is he lying? Is he on a spy mission or something? Is he what is he doing? And Kron was like, have you heard of root ambu? And Naruto was like, oh yeah, you explained root ambu and ambu to me. Does that mean that he might be a root ambu? And Kron was like, yes, I can tell he's a root ambu. Not ambo, but Kron was like, ambu, they can express their emotions. They have emotions. They have friends, they have connections. But their root, they were emotionless killing machines back in the Second War. They had no remorse for anything they did. From what I heard, they were basically like an upgrade from Ambu. They were ran by this guy called Danzo. You may have heard of him. He's one of the guys who kind of ruined your life. Well, completely ruined your life. He wanted to put you inside of his root Ambu. Probably would have controlled you. And I can't have my host getting controlled by no weakling like him. And Ishiki's like, well, I wouldn't appreciate that neither. Having someone controlling my host. Disgusting. I'd rather my host control me than someone control him. I'll be over my dead body. And Naruto's like, so what? You want me to kill him or something? And Kurama's like, now's not the time. He hasn't attacked you yet. And Naruto's like, well, he can't even see me. Of course he hasn't attacked me. And plus, he's around people. He can't use his full strength. And Kurama is like, yeah, you're right. If he is on a spy mission, if he were to use his full strength, which I'm sensing is something on par with even his sensei, then that would probably blow his cover. So, yeah. And Naruto's like, well, I don't know what to do. They're strong, but compared to me, they're bugs. And Naruto he wants to take over this village because, well, he wants to not like take over what was that? I don't know what it's called. I don't know what the word is. Hold on. He didn't want to rule over the village like a dictatorship. That's the word, dictatorship. Because they were kind of like him, abused, beaten, robbed, lied to. He wanted to save them because he just brought back his horrible childhood, and he didn't want people to have to go through this. He was still Naruto. He still had that, that heart to him, but it was being influenced to take over the world. But Naruto, he wanted to leave this village alone and alive because they were suffering like him, and he wanted to save people. This was back when he wasn't influenced by Ishiki. He wanted to save people, wanted to be Yokage, and this is bringing back memories that he didn't want to remember. And Naruto's like, never mind. Maybe I'll just leave this village alone for now. And Well, that's it for this part, guys. I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace.